The nautical style is back in fashion in 2025. Come and check it out. The first trend that comes back into fashion along with the nautical style are pieces that combine red, blue, navy blue and white. As you already know, this nautical style combines these colors a lot, and just by adding them to your looks, you will already make a reference to this style. Combined with tailored piece, the attire becomes even more elegant and sophisticated. You don't need to combine the three colors as well. You can combine red and navy blue, for example, or navy blue and white. But the presence of navy blue is essential when we talk about a slightly more intense nautical style. You can also add some other elements that reference this style, but we will see them here in today's top. Personally, I really like the combination of skirts with tailored blouses or tailored pants with a tailored shirt, always in these tones, combining, for example, red and navy blue or navy blue with white. Navy blue, in itself, is a very Ada color. It's no wonder that it's usually chosen to be part of logos, for example, of companies that have a more responsible air, such as banks, right? It's not common to see a bank or an institution that needs a certain trust using navy blue as its main color, all because of the psychology of colors. So, if you're a woman with a more classic, traditional and elegant style, I highly recommend this color. In addition, it's a great substitute for black, which, as I've already mentioned here on the channel, can be heavy on some people. Black looks magnificent on some people, but on others it makes the person look pale, increases dark circles, and can give the impression of wrinkles. And for these people, I always suggest swapping black for navy blue. I'm very happy because with this stronger trend of the nautical style, the sailor style, we'll have more options. So, you who complained and said, "Oh, but black dresses are easier to find now," you won't have as much trouble wearing this color that is wonderful, super elegant and looks good on all ages, but particularly on mature women. Mature women over 50, 60, 70 look wonderful in navy blue, and then you can combine it with white or white and red to enjoy this trend even more. Number 2 are white pants. White pants are an excellent way to get in on this trend with a piece that you probably already have. You probably already have a pair of tailored pants or a pair of white jeans, which, as I mentioned to you, will be very popular throughout the summer of 2025. And then you take this piece, add some other more nautical elements, and that's it. I think it's wonderful, especially white jeans. I've already mentioned to you here on the channel that the reason is very simple. Many times, when we buy tailored pants, for example, these pants can be transparent. They can be a little thinner. And let's face it, some materials are a little thinner, right? Here, for example, when we live in a very hot region, if you put on a piece of clothing that is very thick to the point of white, nothing shows through, you get really hot. So, to avoid this, sometimes we use a fabric there that is a little thinner. With white jeans, you won't have any problems with your lingerie showing through. You won't have any problems with them. Why? Because jeans are naturally a little thicker, so you can put on your nude lingerie there, for example, and the jeans tend not to show as much, either in color or in shape, so just putting them there makes your life easier. I highly recommend combining these pants with other elements, as we will show in today's video. Elements like raffia, a straw bag, elements like a hat, a beautiful blouse with a sash. In blue, navy blue and white, it looks wonderful. A red blouse also looks really pretty. All of these elements are very trendy for summer 2025. So these are elements that you can invest in without fear of being happy. In fact, a few years ago, many years ago, if I'm not mistaken, this trend was really trendy. I even bought some blouses because I really liked this trend at the time. And, guys, it looks really cute. Let's take advantage of it because it's a super sophisticated trend that's trendy right now, but we can say that it has a more timeless feel. Number 3 are pieces with gold buttons. That's right, the gold buttons alone will give that sailor, navy look, right? They make that reference. These buttons look beautiful. For example, on a navy blue, a white blazer also looks really nice and you can make them at home. Okay girls? If you have a blue blazer, a white blazer, a red blazer, you can get or buy just the button. You'll find them for sale on Mercado Libre, Shein, or AliExpress. All you have to do is search for gold buttons. Get a good quality one so it doesn't peel off, and you can change the button on your blazer, and that's it. You can also, for example, buy a blazer at a thrift store and change the button on it. You know that I always say here on the channel that it's interesting to consume and enjoy trends. After all, for some people it's a hobby, but without wasting money, without buying things that you're not going to use, right? So, why not take a piece that you already have, change the buttons, and then get that ship effect, the nautical trend. You can also change the button on your jeans, and then when you get tired of it, you can go back to the previous button. How practical. That's what I always look for when I talk to you about trends here on the channel. These buttons, guys, by themselves will draw more attention, so you need to keep in mind that it is something more creative. Maybe the super traditional woman won't like it as much, and that's okay. In that case, I recommend that you use that button that mixes brown tones. You know those tortoiseshell glasses? So it's in that vibe. You can also use that button because it looks really pretty, but the gold one clearly pulls more towards that nautical style. So, that's the one I highly recommend. Guys, this actually gave me several ideas to buy the little buttons and change them here at home, because I have a really pretty pair of blue jeans, which I think would go really well with a striped shirt in that style, red and white. It would look gorgeous. I'm going to finish the video and go get that button. Number 4, espadrilles or wedges. Here on the channel I usually call them wedges, but espadrilles are also part of it, okay? Basically, they are shoes that have soles made of raffia, made of straw too. These soles have that look of those summer shoes, for the beach, for the resort, you know, for going on a cruise. I think they're cute. I think they go really well with feminine, self-astral women, you know, happy, cheerful, because they give off that vibe, and at the same time they bring a romanticism, because many of them tie up there on the leg, bringing that delicacy and that femininity. And you know that I always try to bring here to the channel pieces that are feminine, delicate, sophisticated. That's my style, and I also bring a bit of that style to you. Or just there's a little problem when we're talking about this type of shoe, which is the issue of getting wet. Okay, so, if you, for example, get caught in the rain, you have to dry them very well before storing them, because we're talking about straw, raffia, natural elements that are therefore more biodegradable, right? They end up being consumed by nature more easily. So I recommend that if you're going to wear it, use it and then clean it and put it away when it's completely dry so you don't lose your piece. Preferably, invest in pieces that have a tie at the ankle, because as I've already mentioned here on the channel, bows, ties, shoelaces, all of this is very trendy now in 2025. So, why not put it on this shoe? Another tip is to combine it with some other trend. So you can buy a shoe that mixes raffia with navy blue or raffia and red, which also looks really cool, or white, and off-white also looks really nice. The idea here is that you combine it with the thematic colors of this trend, with gold. Maybe you find one that even has a little gold button there that you can add to it. By combining this, you'll already have a perfect piece to embrace this nautical fashion trend. But here's another tip. You can take a wedge or espadrille that you already have and paint the fabric part of it with fabric paint. So, guys, it's possible to revitalize pieces that we've had for a long time, that we already have in our closet and continue to use. Just do a little research here on YouTube and you'll find tips on how to paint these shoes, revitalize them, give them a modern makeover, and put them out there this summer, because guys, we like to be fashionable, but we don't like to waste money, right? And tell me, do you like this nautical style, this sailor style? Do you like it? Tell me here in the comments. Take the opportunity and help me by adding the magic words of the day, which are NAVE 2025, just like that, NY 2025. By adding these two little words, you already help me a lot to continue bringing you videos here on the channel. I count on your help. While you comment and help me, we'll continue with the video. Number 5 are jumpsuits, especially in white and navy blue, because these colors already refer to the nautical style. Jumpsuits are something that some people love and others don't like. And it's completely understandable. Many people think that overalls are just traditional overalls, right? For example, many people think that overalls are like this. Oh, there's only this model. And no, we have a huge variety. For example, we have overalls that are more tailored, which are gorgeous. I love them. I think they're beautiful. I just always like to bring you my addendum here. Avoid them. If you're the kind of woman who always has to go to the bathroom, for example, instead of overalls, I usually opt for sets. Why? Because every time I go to the bathroom, you have to take off that whole overalls to go. And this ends up causing a bit of discomfort. And we know that there are a lot of women, right? Sometimes they're pregnant, sometimes they're going through a situation where they can't hold in much urine. So, in these situations, avoid overalls. For everyday use, it's a super practical piece. You put it on and it's ready. But it can be a piece that gets in your way when we're talking about these more physiological issues. So, I always like to add this. Apart from that, you just have to choose the model you prefer. Models like denim models will be more resistant to time and will basically last forever. Models in linen, cotton and viscose will bring you more freshness. If you're a hot woman like me, or if you live in Rio de Janeiro or some other hot city, as is my case, I highly recommend that you opt for these more natural fabrics, which are also super fashionable in 2025. If you're more daring, the more creative models will be perfect for you. If you're a more traditional woman, stick to tailoring. It will look perfect and will go well with what you already have in your wardrobe. Here the idea is to use the trend, take advantage of what we already have and buy things that already match our style. Number 6 is the L, mainly combining blue and white or red and white, particularly pants and shirts. We're going to have a lot of stripes now in 2025. And I even left you guys in the last videos with that image of pants that look like pajamas, you know? Blouses that also look like pajamas because they're striped pieces. You can already take that striped trend and add it to this nautical fashion issue, putting there the classic combination of white and red, blue, white and red, or blue and white. These three combinations are incredible. Of course, the shirt with blue and white stripes is the most traditional, it's the most classic. It never goes out of style. Okay, girls, it's timeless, okay? It's still in style. It's very difficult for someone to come along and say, wow, that shirt went out of style. What could happen? If it's one of those, it's in that boom, right? You know that there are pieces like that that come out in that boom. They appear. Everyone buys them and then over time people stop using them and then they go out of that super strong fashion. But stripes, especially blue and white, especially this vertical stripe, right? It's always good to write to you here. It's a stripe that never goes out of style. So, if you're looking for a piece that will never go out of style in your closet, get one of these. But be careful, buy a good quality shirt. Why? Because I've been in the situation of buying a shirt, whether for myself or for my husband, and it was that stiff shirt, hard to iron, that wasn't very comfortable on the body. So, always pay attention to the fabric. A natural, soft fabric is ideal for everyday use. And when you're buying this shirt, you should already think about how you're going to wear it. Will you wear it as a third piece? Will you wear it open? Will you wear it closed so that you don't buy a model that's too big or too small? Okay, girls. Number 7 are accessories with marine and nautical themes. We'll have a lot of, for example, those crochet bags that imitate a fishing net. We'll also have bags with fish elements. Guys, I've been seeing a lot of bags and purses, or even little cans that imitate a can of sardines, you know? Really making that reference. I've even noticed a fish-shaped pencil case. We're going to see a lot of fish, anchors, shells, and pearls themselves, too. All of these elements will appear in accessories. So, they'll appear in belts, necklaces, bracelets, rings, bags, as I mentioned, even in prints. And all of these elements together go well with this style and make it richer, but without weighing it down. You can, for example, combine white pants with a white and blue striped blouse. Combine it with that bag I mentioned to you, that bag that looks like a fishing net, and also have, for example, a pearl necklace. You're totally into the nautical style, but without anything too caricatured, with pieces that are timeless, practical, everyday and super modern, because that's our goal, right, girls? Always bring that modern touch so that it doesn't look dated, old-fashioned, or like a costume. So, always use elements there. You don't need to have everything together in the same look. Use elements to avoid that fantasy look. We don't want it to look like a carnival costume. We really want a spectrum there, something that people see and understand as nautical, but they don't even know how to explain why. That's what we're looking for here. Number 8 to match this aesthetic is the shoe. It could be a mocha or a loafer. Nowadays, it's hard to tell the difference between a moccasin and a loafer because there are shoes that have elements of both. So, whenever I bring something here to the channel, I give both options because then you can see what suits you best. If you prefer something more structured, if you prefer something more comfortable, like mocha shoes, then you'll choose it. I'm biased. I think they're both cute, okay? These shoes have a slightly more masculine feel, and that's exactly why they'll make a strong reference to sailors, especially when you combine them with other elements like the ones I mentioned. You can wear different colors, but I highly recommend black or brown. If you're a woman with a higher contrast, black will look perfect on you. You can even combine it with other black elements, like a black belt or a black bag. It looks beautiful. If you're a woman with a medium contrast, like me, medium contrast, guys, is that skin that's neither super white nor dark. It's also that hair that's not super black either. It's not blonde. Usually these people have a medium contrast. That's my case. Just look at the photo on the channel. In that case, I recommend brown. Brown for loafers and LFs will look beautiful and will go very well with, for example, navy blue. I think it's an extremely elegant combination. You can choose a shoe with a tractor sole if you want a more modern, heavier, more urban look, or a very thin sole if you want a more sophisticated, elegant, old money vibe. I know you like it. You love an elegant style. I know you. So, if you want something a little more subtle, a little more sophisticated, with a thinner sole, which is something rougher, more urban, more rock and roll, then you go for the tractor sole. I'm a fan of the tractor sole, but I think the thinner sole is chic. I think it's the face of wealth. And if you're enjoying the video, you'll love all the videos on the Magamoda channel, because there are videos here every day, always around 8 p.m, for you to have dinner or wash your dishes. Listening to all the trends and beauty tips here, you won't want to be left behind. So, activate the bell so YouTube can notify you every time a new video is released for you. While you do that, we'll continue with the video. Number 9 are the Pantacourt, capri and bell-bottom pants. All of these go really well with this style. The Pantacourt and capri bring a reference to the 1920s, for example, which, as I've already mentioned here on the channel, are back in style with a vengeance. The 1970s trend is also back in fashion, and along with it, bell-bottoms. Bell-bottoms, which even originated in the Navy. That's right. The Navy was responsible for bringing this type of pants, which were even used by sailors to be able to dive there without difficulty when taking off their shoes, and they also worked as a buoy. So here's some more information for you. These pants came from there, and that's why they go really well with this style. You can opt for really big bell-bottom pants or those slightly open, flirty pants. This is the case of the boot cut. This type of pants is very sophisticated and strays a bit from the super creative look that the bell-bottoms we're all familiar with give us. Both the Pantacourt, the capri and the bell-bottom follow the same color idea, so I highly recommend white, blue, navy blue and red, but that doesn't mean you can't invest in other colors. Even striped models, especially for capri and boot cut pants, will be wonderful, because since we're talking about shorter pants, they make your silhouette look shorter and therefore end up creating that visual effect of shortening you, of making you look shorter. When you add stripes, that already makes up for it. So you won't have any problems with your figure. You'll compensate for one thing with another. And then white and red stripes, blue and white stripes look simply amazing. It's time to take advantage of the stripes, okay? Because they'll appear in the most different formats. So why not take advantage of this moment? Especially if you're a woman who loves striped pieces. It's the perfect moment for you to invest. Number 10 are scarves, berets and straw hats. The idea here is to bring hair elements. In the case of scarves, you can tie them in a bow in your ponytail. You can make a bun. You can also tie them around your neck or on your bag. Guys, scarves are extremely versatile. They make you extremely sophisticated. They will give you that air of a rich woman and also bring that touch of creativity, that slightly more exotic, different air. You don't see someone wearing a scarf every day, so it ends up drawing attention. If you're a slightly more daring woman, I highly recommend it. Berets are a bit more fun. They bring that irreverence, that youthfulness. I'm biased. I'm in love with berets. I'm even going to start my own collection of berets. I think they're incredible. I think they're wonderful. In fact, to disguise your hair on those days when your hair isn't looking perfect, put on a little beret and you'll look perfect. Wonderful. It works really well within this trend of the ship, the sailor, the nautical. And as I mentioned to you, you can combine it with other things. So, if you like, for example, striped blouses, you can wear a horizontal striped blouse, the stripes lying down, and then you put it together with this beret. You can either go for a sailor look or go for a more French look, if you like that trend too. So you can move between styles, trends, and aesthetics, right? If you prefer something a little more beachy, I recommend a straw hat. Although it's not nautical, it goes really well with the beach, water, travel, resort, and cruise elements. So, a straw hat is also perfect. Okay, girls, it goes really well with the main colors of this trend, as well as with the overall aesthetic. Plus, it protects you, makes you look beautiful, wonderful, with perfect, tanned skin, but without getting stains. People, straw hats are the best. If you don't have one, you should invest. Take advantage of it while it's in fashion, and you'll find it in all different sizes. And speaking of what's in fashion, did you know that the 1920s, 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s are back in full force, bringing with them many pieces that you probably already have in your wardrobe? So, if you want to know what these pieces are, just click on this video that's showing on your screen. I'll see you there.